The Holyoake DRUMBEAT program was developed to engage groups of young people facing social challenges who were failing to engage in traditional therapeutic interventions. Drumbeat uses hand drumming to safely explore relationship issues, raise self-esteem, and increase social competence. Analogies are drawn from the drum circle that raise awareness of the factors that determine healthy relationships. Structured sessions explore topics such as values, peer pressure, social harmony, identity, teamwork, and emotional expression. Young people learn to work together, and the skills they develop in the drum circle are transferred to other social contexts.
So far we've got the program in about 200 different locations around Australia. We didn't really know that the drum was going to be as effective as it has been, but it's been incredibly effective because response to rhythm is like almost an automatic thing and people can't help but be attracted to it. It's also almost fail-proof, so that young people get an instantaneous reward when they're drumming.
A lot of these kids have trouble with perseverance, and if they were to go and learn a piano or a guitar or something like that, they're the sort of kids that would go too hard, give up.
It's also cathartic, it's very physical, so young people, they're active and they're able to express emotion physically through the drum.
I think there's just something quite primal about playing it and the connection that happens with you and the drum, and then the drum and other people.
The drum, I think, is a very good way of expressing yourself because it's not an instrument that necessarily needs a notation. You don't have to be told, you have to read this and you have to play it. Drumming is really, you have to play together, listen to each other, and feel free to combine with your fellow musicians.
It's the easiest thing that we can do as human beings to sit down and connect with each other. With drums, you don't have to be a drummer.
Drumbeat is primarily about connection. The drum is a tool for allowing safe and fun social interaction, leading to a reduction in alienation and a newfound sense of belonging. The drum has traditionally been a tool for communication and celebration, and in Drumbeat it's used similarly to engage young people in social learning whilst having fun. It is an instrument with the power to lift mood, and for people caught in depression or anxiety, the drum can very quickly improve the way they're feeling.
In the two groups of kids that I had go through the program as it was designed to be run, I had some very aggressive children in those groups who were children that would not participate in very much at all. Their usual habit was to just leave the room, and I was wondering, didn't really know how it was going to all work out. I was quite nervous about it all. But we've had students who have gone from not wanting to be involved in anything much, walking out of the room when they don't like whatever they have to do, and these students have got up in front of hundreds of people and performed and have showed no signs of aggression during the program at all, and have gone from actually being very antisocial in a group of kids to sharing their feelings and respecting other people's feelings and ideas and contributing well in the talking side of things and doing their absolute best in the playing side.
What happens in schools I see is young people are sort of a bit like fodder, they go from class to class, expected to sit quiet, listen and be attentive, and that's not the learning style that everyone has. And by getting their hands on their drums, I just see this spark on their face, their faces ignite.
The Drumbeat program raises confidence as participants develop new skills and gain the support of others in the group. Feelings of self-worth increase with participation, and the performance at the end of the program provides opportunities for recognition of their achievement and a further connection to community.
Some kids can really gain a lot of confidence. One girl in particular that I've been watching, she's a very quiet girl, and I just saw such a change in a matter of 10 weeks.
So some of the big things that we found out in our evaluations was that the kids were boosting their self-esteem and their confidence, doing something that they hadn't done before. They were really getting the fun out of it. what we're getting out of it is the opportunity to build ongoing relationships with these kids.
A lot of teachers were absolutely shocked when they saw certain students up in front of the whole school performing. They did not think that those students had it in them. And so it's helped people to see these kids in a different light. Their parents have even seen them in a different light. It's helped there's a lot of, very quiet kids that have really come out of their shell. It's changed people's perception and really opened people's eyes and realised what some of these kids are capable of.
The Drumbeat program assists young people to regulate their emotions. Participants in the drum circle learn to share, problem solve and negotiate, as well as tolerate differences or different points of view. The drum is also a safe way to express emotion and release feelings that might otherwise be channeled into aggression or self-harm.
Particularly here we have a lot of kids who have all sorts of social problems, and you can't solve the social problems overnight, and one Drumbeat program of 10 weeks is not going to solve it. But one of the big things that it does is the kids become quite open to communication and far better at talking.
The results of some of the studies that we've done of different population groups that have been involved in the program, they've shown that basically 10 weeks in the program learning to work together through the drums then transfers to much more ease in other social situations and group situations. So young people who have done Drumbeat are more able to go into other group situations in mainstream education, for instance, and work cooperatively with others. They're also more able to regulate their emotions, when they're stressed at different times, so that they have less behavioural issues, less temper tantrums and those sorts of things. And they have a greater sense of connection to the school and the community which they're part of. So it actually connects them to other people. And one of the major risk factors for a lot of these young people is that sort of isolation and alienation that they feel because they don't have the skills to socially integrate in a healthy way with others.
5, 6, 7, 8!